Haribo. So, I wanted to talk about Iskcon and Ritviks and Gaudiya Math. And I wanted to talk about the illusion of difference and, what do you call it? Planned opposition and hidden enemies. So, there are seemingly different factions, Gaudiya Math and Iskcon, as much as they might fight and argue over disciples and authority and disciplic succession. The main scriptural differences are really moot points. Some stupid debate about where the souls descend from, and it's a matter of perception of time. So Narayan Maharaj speaks from a perspective within the material world. This is very humble. We should, in the mood of separation, imagine ourselves unworthy of Krishna and Krishna consciousness. This is real humility. You've been given something so valuable, and you can't really pay for it. There's nothing you can accumulate in the material world to offer to God that can replace bhakti, which is devotional service. This is pretty high conception of spirituality and religion, and it has to do with serving God. All right, so that's their moot point. We're gonna go into what's up with the Ritviks. So, you have 11 acharyas, zonal acharyas. They fall to all hell, leaving 2, Jayapataka and Jayadvaita Maharaj. Now, later on, through evidence, they're implicated in the poisoning and murder of Srila Prabhupada. And I also personally know of some criminal freaking behavior from them. And it's pretty unforgivable. And they have this whole suppression type of gang stalking thing that they do. And a lot of their agents are amongst the Ritviks. Not just the neo-Nazis, which were, I would have to say, obtained, or influence was obtained over them, maybe leverage, by Iskcon over some of these well-known Nazi fools and Gurukul, Iskcon survivors, that they try to suppress these people and make hell for them. One such person that I would suspect has been targeted, similar to myself, is Rupa Manjari. And she married quite an old fellow, Narayan Das. And that's a whole fiasco. God bless them for the sake of their child. Krishna is amazing. You could be in a whole mess and still get blessed with something wonderful. And anyway, I'm just going to deposit that. The child might be something wonderful. And for the two of them, perhaps they can consider that. I don't really know the details of their life, nor would I presume heavy judgment. But I will say that Rupa Manjari has the likeness of someone who's been targeted, abused, mentally coerced, and isolated and gaslit. And this is pretty standard and normal to see amongst the people who figure things out in Iskcon and speak up. And she was quite aggressive in that amongst the Ritviks. Now, in terms of the Sampradaya, how are you going to get your lineage connection within the parampara, which means from guru to guru? So in theory, you could get it from the offensive GBC and Iskcon gurus. In theory. I don't think this is wise. Simply because of sadism, criminal behavior, offenses. So, if they killed Prabhupada, if they did all these crimes, if all 11 of the zonal acharyas were false, they don't have a lineage anymore. So that should be self-explanatory. They have no lineage, they have no authority. Who would have authority? People who are fighting against this. And I want to talk for a moment. Well, I'll jump to that. Let me stick right now on the Ritviks. So, you need Srila Prabhupada because he didn't make all this mess. And he's got to be the founding Acharya. And he's got to be the pure devotee. And so I believe that people can make much better progress with ISKM and with the Ritviks than they can with Iskcon. Iskcon is going to purposefully compromise your life. It's going to be horrible. And you won't be happy. And if you are happy in Iskcon, you're not really happy. You did something horrible to be happy in Iskcon. And, okay. Some of the things that are inflicted upon Puranjan Timli is that some of his correspondents, namely Sugata and Palaka, what's his Karmi name? Paul Lynch. Well, sometimes these guys might talk to Puranjan or ghostwrite some of his articles. This is noticeable by me. Sugata likes to deposit narratives which might cause trouble. And Palaka really likes doing this against me with like some kind of personal hostility. And he's always talking about Ramo. And it's particularly annoying for me because when in my youth I was trying to make a report to Iskcon authorities, and he was holding up my line so that he could talk about the pronunciation of the holy name Ramo versus Rama, when this is just an accent that got picked up by the Bengalis and carried with their kirtans and bhajans their devotional singing, and became popular with Aindra, who was heavily influenced by them. And he influenced the rest of Iskcon, and people really enjoyed Das because he was so outspoken against the GBC. Okay, so Puranjan has those two bad influences. He has more. Jwalamukhi is a terrible influence. Her brother, Rasikananda. There's another fellow, an Italian Gurukul survivor who's been wonderfully outspoken. I have to say, I really enjoy him as a devotee. I also enjoy Jwalamukhi, like the willingness and urgency to fight against Iskcon is wonderful. What I don't appreciate is that they signed NDAs, and this prohibits them from dropping any names or speaking of any details if they're not pulled into Congress or questioned by an intelligence level agency. So, this is notable, which is why I'm speaking it. And the NDAs are a big problem for advocates for the Gurukulis and for other survivors. It's a big issue. Out of the Ritviks, can someone become a guru? I'm going to assert yes. And the reason why I'm going to assert yes is because the idea of the Ritviks requires them to win and to consume Iskcon. And the personnel doesn't exist anymore. And the personnel within Iskcon who would help, in theory, fill those positions when the upper echelon are removed, they would be just as compromising as their gurus. So they've already, so many of them are implicated in gang stalking and targeting and gaslighting and abusing their positions of authority. So this is a big issue. Now, if you're speaking the truth, if you're fighting against the GBC, if you're advocating for Srila Prabhupada regarding his poisoning and his murder and the hijacking of his religion, I think you have tremendous potential for divine empowerment, because Srila Prabhupada's Leela is ongoing. It is not finished, especially since he's not had justice, especially since there's so many bad guys to apprehend in the movement. And I don't know what to tell you guys. I've been on this for 15 years. I'm the guy on the ground. Puranjan says, Sita is the institution, and you can't show up to the institution. They'll murder you. So no sane person would protest in person against the institution because of what he knows will come. And I've been the man on the ground doing this for more than a decade. I made sure that things were safe by entering New Vrindavan myself and being a brahmachari. I caught the bad guys while the seniors silenced my feats and suppressed my activities. And I've survived the targeting and the isolation and death attempts, and it's been a lot. I've qualified myself by imbibing Srila Prabhupada's books, all of them, and I've imbibed by ear nearly all of his recorded transcripts. And when I am done, I will be pursuing the final unreleased 900 from the BBT. And I'm going to be really disappointed if they try to deny me my final 900 transcripts. And there may be more than that. And also, because I've been through so much of the transcripts, I do have citations regarding double recordings and hidden recordings underneath these double recordings regarding Varnashram. And this is the last topic I want to talk about when it comes to having a functional society that we're missing amongst the Vaishnavas. This is compensated by the Hindus, because the Hindus are not so backwards as those trained up by Iskcon GBC in regards to Varnashram Dharma, which means they believe in a caste system, and they operate and marry within a caste system. This is wise. You do require a caste system. In America, we have a caste system, and the woke will talk about it when they talk about their hierarchy of oppression, how they think the world used to be, how they think it's supposed to be, how they think it is now, and then they don't notice any of the changes that they've made. So So this caste system is important because one of the castes is in charge of administration and of justice. And to have a society with no Varnashram Dharma and no administrative caste, it means to have a society with no justice, no action in justice, and we're supposed to all imagine ourselves to be brahmanas on the highest platform while they bang our kids. So I don't care for any of the juggling and magic words and changing of definitions and changing of priorities and changing of the topic. I don't think anybody is gonna agree that you guys should be allowed to bang the kids. That's kind of crazy. And that when you bang the kids, you don't have to worry about justice or Kshatriyas, a caste of administrators who dish out justice. These are serious issues for me. And the first thing I do when things are right is I'm going to be training Kshatriyas. And this is sane. And I don't require anything special to be able to do this. I don't think any sane person will argue that we don't need police officers and soldiers and governors and presidents and lawyers who are properly trained and have great character. I think the whole world can benefit from that. I think that pretty much sums up all my topics that I wanted to cover for now. Oh, the last bit, Deva worship. So when you have a caste system, there are devas that help you do your work. So Sudras might have a different one. And Vaisyas may have another. Karna, that's a famous Vaisya deity, deva. And for those who administer justice, there's Shiva, there's Durga, there's Kali. There's so many. The devotee, he recognizes that all of the devas are emanations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the devas appear to do the Lord's service. And a devotee, he might worship a deva in order to function in a service properly, because he needs to have, or she needs to have, good mentality and context for their action, because it may be a precedence, it may be exemplary, it may be exceptional, and a miracle in all regards. So we pray to God for miracles, and the miracles come according to circumstance. So if people are upset that for the first time in my life, I'm offering respect to Lord Shiva as Guru and Lord Shiva as the enactor of justice, this is what is needed right now. And when times change, there will be another form which becomes appropriate. But as for now, I don't see how Lord Shiva is not honored in terms of his connection with Guru, Lord Nityananda, and justice. And these are things which are missing from Iskcon, which hopefully we will have soon. Thank you for listening. It's going to be rare people who listen to this whole thing. Thank you. Yeah, I have nothing else. This video was for the devotees. This is not for any of the non-devotee, crazy stalker people living off of $100 a day to harass me. This one's not for them. This one's for the devotees who are trying to make sense of everything that's going on between Iskcon, Gaudiya Math, and the Ritviks. Oh, and as a last note, this Narada Das guy with this Hare Krishna project, this guy's so gay and lame. The politics, man, it has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. Our religion is 5,000 years old. Whether you're MAGA or you're woke, you're a conditioned visitor, and you should stop petitioning to have control and influence over the religion. I'm taking this as a very serious offense, and it's not appreciated. We need men and women to get along. We need the Griyasas to get along in order to have a congregation. And the congregation and community, they need coherency and something to bring them together. And the GBC doesn't allow this. Anybody to come together, anybody to talk, anybody to be friends, anybody to produce anything where the community can rely on each other. Everyone has to be isolatable and easily dismissed should they try to do the right thing. It's madness, and it's horrible, and that our whole religion has been taken over either by these Nazis or by these criminals. And The behavior is so bad. It's so wicked. It's so evil. And I don't know why people aren't dropping names. And who's this guy? The last guy I want to mention. Chandra, what's his name? Something Chandra-Das. Anyway, he's got the he's got the dead man thing going on, and he's talking about Madhyams, and his name is the name of Shiva. It's not coming to my head right now. I gotta go to the bathroom. But I will say that this search for a Madhyam is a search for a Kshatriya Madhyam. And they don't have to be an ascended Madhyam. They could be a descended Madhyam, which means they can tolerate so much and they can produce miracles, and they can actually help people by telling them with discretion and clarity and nuance what's what. Not the pie in the sky Uttama stuff, and not the Kanista put your head in the sand and do your sadhana stuff. I don't know what value sadhana has at all when we're in a state of war and devotees are being attacked. The sadhana is in defeating Iskcon and rectifying Srila Prabhupada's situation, and joining the army. And if you're going to join an army, guys, you should join Jon Snow's army. He's the only one who's been true the whole time, and he paid the price on the ground. And this is why no matter what you do, no matter what you say, you can't show up on my battlefield and pretend to be greater or equal to me. You just haven't fought the good fight, and you haven't been doing it since the beginning. So that's it. That's my video. It's almost 30 minutes long. I'm sorry, and I was supposed to finish a while ago, but that was everything that was on my mind. I hope it brings good clarity to everyone involved. Haribol.